We'll start with some stretching, nice deep breaths in. Okay, over to the side. Stretch it up. Over.
Roll it.
The side. Stretch right up, opening the rib cage out. And over to the side. Okay, this is the head. Stretching down. And up. Left. The right. Side. The side. And then back just with the hand. Shake. To the front, pressing with the hand. To the back. The shoulders. Just one side rather than figure eight motion. The other side. And just roll them together. You can also kind of allow them to alternate, or you can just roll them in together this way. Very good. Good. Is that it? Circles. Twisting at the elbows. Extending out through the arms. For the knee. Stretch the knees back. On the ankles. Point through the toes. Forward the foot. Through the heel. To the side. The ground. Pointing the toe. All. Just 1 foot forward, keeping both feet flat on the ground and just parallel. Side. A little bit deeper, bringing the back heel up. Bringing it knee towards the ground. Again. Slide up the spiral away. Try and really open the hip out. And then the other side. And back. Stretch down and just pressing the elbows against the, or the forearms against the knees. Just gentle pressure out. Yeah. You can also sink in a little bit deeper. Get the hands to the ground and do the same thing. Just keep the pressure out. If you can from hip, press the hand into the ground and lift the other hand up. Keeping the squat nice and low. Chin side. More time. The other side. Just loosen the legs towards the side. Just holding one side. Chin. Go to the ground. Side. facing forward. Just place the hands on the same line. Reach in. Press the hips back. Move the hands forward. While the arms are extended. Right through the shoulders. Pressing the hips up and back. Walk the hands forward. Start bringing them towards the ground. If you can, reach the elbows into the ground. Let the head just hang into the ground. And then nice and slowly back up. Just a little the arms. Rolling through the shoulders. And open the shoulders up. Front and back. Try and mobilize the whole joint. And for the arms. To the wrist. Okay. So GAeshi. Shake. Yeah. Shake. Onto the fingers. Shake. Roll in a fist. And the other side. Punching through the fingers. And closing fists. Shake them out. The legs. Shake the whole body. Okie dokie. Take a Joe. Good. Turning movements. I'll do them slower than normal. So just start with the right side. Really easy. A little bit more detail with them. The key in this one is really getting the forearm to do the work. So keep the shoulder down in place. What I don't want in this case is for the shoulder to really kind of come forward. So keep the shoulder down, the elbow heavy, and just allow really the forearm and the wrist to make the rotation. Keep the wrist nice and flexible and the grip strong in the bottom two fingers, and really allow the rotation to happen in the forearm. It's like doing a kind of cocky work. This way. This way. You can also play in this case with rotating the jaw kind of fully, in which case kind of nearly vertical or near vertical, or kind of stopping it early on the horizontal and kind of pulsing through at this point. So you can kind of fully rotate it through as far as the wrist will go. You can kind of stop it early, kind of pulse through it. Play with both. And changing sides. So same, just keep the elbow heavy, the shoulder back. Just really allow the forearm to make the rotation. And if you kind of struggle with this with the shoulder, you can also kind of brace the wrist with the other hand. Just give it extra support. Just allow the wrist to kind of roll through the bottom hand. A little bit of support. Or if not, just have it free. And then each time you're just going to alternate. And the trick in this alternation is keeping the little fingers together this way. And you're basically going to pass it on the center line. This way and out. This way and out. And again, really allowing, keep the shoulders back and down. Don't lose the jaw. And keep the elbows heavy. So keep the elbows always kind of pointing down. What I don't want to avoid in this case is the elbows coming out to the sides. So keep the elbows with a feeling of down. Drop through. And again, you can play with a kind of full rotation, almost vertical, or you can stop it here, like you're kind of hitting here with this one. That's it. Good. And then we go to extending out. In this case, keep the shoulder again nice and back and down, and keep the elbow close to the body. And in this case, it's going to be also the hip starts to come into it. So it's extension through the forearm rotating and allowing the hip to start to come out. It allows this to happen. Really like making a punch. And in the at the point of the extension, make sure to keep the elbow again down and the shoulder here. What I don't want to do in this case is the kind of roll the shoulder out and let the elbow come out. So keep the elbow pointing down. Allow the forearm and the wrist to make the rotation, not the elbow. And keep the shoulder back and down. In this case, you can also place your hand here so you can really feel the shoulder. But I don't want this to happen. Keep the shoulder back, allow the rotation to happen. The forearm and the wrist. And I also want full extension out here. So really feel you fully extend out. And when you draw it back close to the body, and the hip leads it. But try and make the outward movement come really from the hip. What I don't want to do is just push the arm out and do this kind of work. What I want to do is the whole body presses out, basically coming from the ground in the hip. Ground in the hip. In the same way, it's going to pull it back. So the hip pushes out and pulls back. Pushes in, pulls back. And then just try the other side. The shoulders in a good position. and then alternating. And this is the same swap over. Little fingers together. Just going to swap again on the center of the body and then press it out. Center, press out.
Sorry. Hey, Sarita.
Sorry, really late.
Bravo. We just started. Good. Okay, watch this one. Just try and avoid in this case. Try and keep the line of the shoulder. So the arm moves along this line, but it doesn't come out this way. So try and avoid this kind of movement where you're basically pulling the shoulder out this way. Try and keep the line of the shoulder this way, and then you exchange back into the center line, and then it's quite kind of a compact movement, and basically allowing this move to come from the hip again. This move from the hip. So see this, the shoulder, the hip to the ground. This is all kind of on one line. What I don't want to do is leave the body out. This is where I'm working outside of the body. So just have this kind of sense, really along the line of the shoulder. And I also, in this case, I don't want to twist the body out of structure. So I don't want to do this kind of work. Easier to see from this way. I don't want to twist out the structure. I want to twist down. So I want to rotate down into the ground, but I don't want to twist out of the ground. So have the sense of all the time the movements spiraling down to the ground. Actually, whatever you do in the ground. Yeah. This way.
Let's see. Yeah, that's great. Very nice. There we go. Yeah, very nice. Good.
Good. And then one hand here. This is what we usually just start with, but coming into a figure of 8. Now here, really allow the hip to start to move forward. So it's less a sense of doing this with the arm, which you can also do. It's kind of baton twirling work, but try and get the sense that the ground's connecting to the jaw, and that the hip's really gonna press through. So now you've got a figure of 8 movement, which is coming from the center. So it's not really coming from the arm, but it's coming from the center of the body, so that allowing the hips to create the motion. So connecting to the ground, and just in this case, what you can do to test that is just be very light on the jaw. It should just follow. Should just follow this movement, but it's not a sense of the arm kind of rolling out. Try and coordinate the movement from the hips. So do this nice and slow. And really feel like now there's much more flexibility in the hip. Coil through the hip. Keep the connection with the ground nice and strong. And once you feel you've got the kind of connection, just start to increase the speed. All the time, keep the same kind of structure of the hip, controlling the movement. And again, I want the shoulder, the elbow, everything to stay really in structure. I don't want to let it come out from the body. Let it really stay in the structure. And then the other side. So. Okay, and I can make this move another way, kind of sway in the body this way. So I can do the movement by doing this, which is basically the upper body is doing the movement of the hips. So again, it's not the arm that's doing it, but it's now the upper body is doing it. But try and really sink the movement down. So try and allow the hips to really create the movement. So I want the upper body just to rest on the lower body. But I don't want the upper body to kind of start to come out of structure this way. So I can do this by rocking the body this way. But I don't want to rock the body. Just let it sink down and really allow the hips to be flexible. So let the movement really come from the hip. And the upper body, the chest, should be very relaxed, not tight at all. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Super. Good. And then the transition. It's just the same. In this case, it's made at the side of the body. So as you make here, this, and continue it. Just get the coordination with the hip. Got it. Yeah, I'm rolling. It's a bit more flexible. So watch it. You're doing slightly like this. You're doing like this. But let it kind of roll through. Roll through. Roll through. This way. You see? So it's got a kind of flexible, it's got a kind of wave motion through it. Wave through the body. Wave through. Wave through. You see that? Just try it.
Yeah, I saw it and I do my best.
Good. It's in the transition. Watch the transition. When you do this one, this rotates. So the arm rotates, like the thumb comes to the front, and then I change underneath, and then I continue it this way. You see, but in this case, don't change early here. So don't change. Oh, this is really hard to show. Don't change this way. Like change this way. So this rotates back. You see that? And then continue it. I think that's what you're doing. It's really hard to see, but this way. So allow another rotation here. This. And then find it. This. And then find it. Yeah? Try it. Let's see. Yeah. No. And the hands behind. Oh god damn. This way. Yeah. It's actually it's the same transition from right from the beginning. This one. This way.
Yeah. Michael, thank you very much. Don't wait for me. I will train it the next days, but don't wait for me in this lesson. But I will work after it. Thank you. I'm a slow something.
I understand.
But a lot of something.
Got it. Nice. Yeah, that one. Like that. Good. Okay, good. Work on it. We go to the shoulder. So in this case, you're a little bit off the center with the arm. Just drop it behind this way. And again, just focus on the shoulder. So it's still that the elbows kind of down, pointing down, the shoulders back, and I have just released through the grip here. And then here, really wrap around the arms here, close to the body. Take the jaw and then just roll it back up here. So again, keep the structure nice and tight to the body. this way. It's actually an exercise from nunchuck, but works just as well for the job. So you just pass it over back. And this is really good for really opening the chest out. With the chest tight, this is kind of hard, but really open the chest out. Let the shoulder go back. Just work through. Okay, and when you make the second move, when you make the release, try and keep the sense. What I don't want the body to do is come up this way. I don't want this to kind of happen, but I want the body to sink down and release. So feel it again, that the movement from the ground releases. So it's the hips now making this movement, but it makes it by sinking into the ground. So have the sense of as the jaw raises up, the hips are sinking. Hips are sinking. So you got to kind of motion like this through the body, and all the time sinking down, especially as the jaw comes up. Don't want the body to come up. Sink the body down.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, nice. Right. Super.
Yeah, and there's one more motion you can do from this. So a good motion. You come to here and then rather than going to the elbow, just raise the jaw up here and then swing it back down here. It comes this way across the body. This is really from nunchuck work, but it comes here, swing it up, and then swing it back down this way. And this is like really wrapping the arm around the body. Also, this is really good for the shoulder. What it does is it opens the shoulder up to the front this way. And then you release it out to the back, change, roll up, and then press through down this way. So really wrapping around the body and then release it. So again, just coordinate it with the hip work. The hip now sends the jaw down. Sends the jaw down and curls around the body. And then release it. And if once you get the coordination, you can just do it as one smooth motion. And just make sure you really work on the end of the jaw, near the end. Don't work on the middle. If I do this motion in the middle of the jaw, as I do this, you hit yourself. So make sure you're working somewhere towards the other end of the jaw. You can start to really open this movement out. Good.
So, there we go. Very nice. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, and then just rotating, it's along the same direction, so this way, but you just cut it down, so working back in the middle, and you just roll over the other side. So you roll over, and you just, as if you make this transition, but you just go to the wrist, but just cross it over here, and now you're thumb to thumb, like kind of butterfly, and then just release it. The key with this one, just make sure you go in the opposite way. Don't go the same way as the kind of ordinary one, but allow the jaw to really pass through the reverse. So this is a motion from low. The movement is low with the tip, not high. So let it really pass low. So push your thumb to thumb, crossing over. So, see. Okay. And in this way, if you do the ordinary direction, you'll hit yourself, and you'll get crunched here. So if I try and make this with this direction, oh, this is really hard to show. This direction, and cross over. This is really difficult. This feels really unnatural. So in this case, I want to use this direction. So really make sure that the Joe's going this way. So when it passes through the side, the Joe should be coming down this way. And then the change happens here. So if you get kind of stuck with this on the direction, go back to this one. Go back to finding the shoulder, because you can't do this the other way. And then just cut the motion down. So just mix these two in. You've got the shoulder, 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 wrist, 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 shoulder, shoulder, wrist. So this is the same rotation, it's just cut down. But really make sure you use the same direction. Just try it. Good for the brain. Very good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's it. Now. Yes, very good. Good.
Oh, this is hard. 4 to 8 in the morning here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Okay, last one. Just roll into the back. In this case, you can make the transitions a few ways. The easiest way is like this, with the hands, with the thumb in contact with the little finger, and really pressed onto the spine. So very close to the body. Roll it out, and then roll it back. In this case, you can basically keep as you make the transition, or you release the Joe. Basically, keep the hand and then I just take the Joe back into the hand. Take the Joe to the hand. So just leave the hand where it releases the Joe. Just release. Leave it there. There we go. Very nice. And then another one you can try is basically passing the Joe around the body. So keeping the body still, you roll it around, change the hand, and then you roll it to the back. Roll it around, change to the back. It just goes through one direction. You can go the other way. It's a bit like when we do this motion with the arm. The kind of release out is like this. Rolls through the back, change. The back, change. Just let the Joe kind of travel around the body. You can do this both ways. And then just mix them in, kind of doing this one kind of classic one we do. Let's do a few and then just, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Just flow it around, and then when you feel like it, just roll it to the back. Change. Do a few each side and roll it around. Just try and keep the jaw in motion. Do this really slow. Just really release it. The key in this one is the hips constantly in motion. Roll. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Good. Good, 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 good.
Good, super. Okay, we're gonna go to a Hasso movement. So in this case, starting in the right side, we're gonna do it slightly differently in this case. So in this case, you're gonna roll to the back and make a block. So allow yourself to really feed the jaw through the hand. So roll to the back, block through, basically in the middle, and then allow the right hand to shift up here. So just nice and slow, and just really coordinate the footwork to the hand. So the first move is actually in the ground with the foot, and then rolling through this way. And then from this position, allow the front foot to roll back for this motion. So try and really get the body coordinated together. The body moves out, presses down, body presses back. Just really work on the really thick connection between the footwork and the jaw. The center's constantly pressing through the jaw. So,
Awesome.
good. And then from Skikamai, the same. From here, roll the body back, press down this way. So again, you've got a blocking movement. This, and in this case, allow the right hand, which is in the center, to roll down and then roll back up. And again, just try and really coordinate the body work. So rolling back with the step, and then from this position, the foot and the hand together, slides up and then rolls back. Break it down into two. One with the block, and then the right hand shift from the body.
Good.
And then starting the left, just roll into the right side too. So just break it down again. Block, roll up here, and then roll the body back. So stepping back, strike down, and then here. And just keep the right hand the one that does all the movement. So starting left side, roll back. Find the Hasso, roll back, and find the second move. Again, just try and really coordinate the footwork to the hand.
Michael, when you finish with the Hasso, is your stance quite wide, or is it?
No,
Yeah.
it's a bit more narrow. So it's not in a, I'm not in a kind of wide position here. As the Joe comes back, it's slightly narrowing the posture here. So it's not super wide, and it's not kind of super narrow either. But it's just kind of in a kind of comfortable position. So this in this kind of position. I want the foot to be drawn up to basically allow me to either move it this way or roll the hip back into another movement. If I'm too wide, this is a really tricky position to move from. But if I'm kind of here, then any movement that I make is pretty inflexible. So I don't want too wide a position. So this. I just want the position where the hip's going to draw back, and then I should feel I can move any direction, front, forward, or backward.
And this is the same with the other side, the one on the left-hand side?
Yeah, they're both the same. Yes.
Okay.
This way, and not kind of in this kind of really wide position. So just,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
okay, good. And we're just looking at a strike from this position, and you can do the strike either side. So you can do it on the left side or the right side. So in either case, it's very similar. You can roll back. I'll show you the last one first. So this, rolling back, and then you just come off to the side and strike with the end of the jaw this way. So that the arms are in this position, this way. This is nice and easy. So you roll back, and then strike in this way. You can also do this motion off the first one on the left. So this, yeah, and then just roll the body in this way. In this case, the arms are in this position, thumbs down. So the hands are in different positions, but the feeling's the same. This way, striking in. Okay, so just play with both. You can do it left side or right side, this way.
Nice.
And then the second level of this is just flow through the block into the Hasso. So if you're in this position, just really flow through it into the Hasso and flow through the second one this way. And then you can choose to strike either side. So the key now, just allow the body to roll back, find the Hasso. Roll back, find the Hasso, and then you can strike in this way. But just again, play with these two. Really roll through. So this kind of mid-level fluid practice. This, and striking. A little bit of try, just blending through the block.
Very good. Go, good, good, good.
Good. Okay. And then the last level fluid is to just roll straight through it. So you find one, find the other this way. So you just roll straight through the Hasso. So 1, 2, this way. And then again, you can just find the strike off either. You've got the left side here, the right side here. Just really flow through it. The key in this is that as you roll back, I don't come to the Hasso position and then start the movement. Just allow the motion to start with the hip. Is this. So don't wait to find the Hasso position, just roll straight through it. So there's no pause at all in the Hasso position. Okay.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. And then the last thing to try is just try it really from a kind of neutral position. So no real posture, nothing at all. You can be kind of left side, right side. Just kind of move the jaw around. And then just have a sense that you can find a Hasso and find a strike. So just do kind of one Hasso and one strike. So you can either do left side, right side. Like just get the sense that you can make the block, strike it. And just come back to a very neutral position. Find the Hasso, strike it. This way. Even it's really basic also. This way, rolling up, strike down. Just get now the feeling of really working from a very neutral, relaxed position. Roll through it, strike. Want to go directly into motion.
Okie dokie. Very good. Let's stop there.
Domo, arigatou gozaimasu.
どうもありがとうございました。